Hey everyone, and welcome back to the video. In today's visit we explore the small vibrant market town of BEAULY that sits just outside Inverness, and we share with you our wonder around the ruins of the stunning BEAULY Priory. This magnificent ruin of a monastic church was founded in 1230 by French monks and is one of 3 priories founded in Scotland at this time. The site itself is extremely picturesque, whether in bloom or winter, and it has a certain feel to it. But then again, so do all churchyards. But it's understandable that the monks would have aptly named the place Beautiful Place. This quote is also recognised by Mary, Queen of Scots, who is said to have endorsed the name during a visit to BEAULY in 1564. As you wander through, it's beautiful to see the graveyard and its tombstones peacefully resting and being able to read the information boards on the priory that are provided by Historic Scotland. Entering through a large doorless frame, you're able to peer down the now roofless church. It's an impressive and large open space that lets you see the entirety of the central area. Originally, this church layout would have been partitioned off into different zones, including the nave, a screen in the middle, and the choir at the far end. Right by the doorway, a holy stoop is still there. This is where visitors would cleanse themselves as they entered and exited the building. In 1510, the priory had changed to the Order of the Cistercians, and in 1530 the west side of the priory, with its tall lancet windows, were rebuilt by Robert Reid, who was the prior from 1530 to 1558. Reid was also the abbot at Kinloss Abbey and the Bishop of Orkney. It was upon his death that the funds from his estate was used to found Edinburgh University. Unfortunately, later, in 1541, the priory was struck by lightning, with the west end needing major works. By 1780, most of the domestic buildings on the priory had disappeared. Parts of them would have been destroyed soon after the Reformation in 1560, and the other parts were removed to build Oliver Cromwell's citadel in Inverness in 1653. After the Reformation, the church became popular as a burial ground for the local people. This is why many of the graves are within the boundary walls of the priory. The priory was used as a filming location for the TV show Outlander, where the main character meets the seer here, making this the perfect stop-off on an Outlander trail throughout Scotland. We make our way to the North Chapel, where we wander and see a number of historic tombs. The first, Sir Kenneth Mackenzie of Kintel, is buried, and it is his effigy behind the grille into the former sacristy. Sadly, the sacristy never seems to really be open to the public, but we were able to take a snap of the inside, which we think looks stunning. It acted as a family burial site, but oddly there is no indication of where the monks who had lived and worked at BEAULY were buried. What is striking about the church is how elongated it is. There are no aisles, only transepts to the north and the south, creating the form of a Latin cross. Through the entire church, it was laid out and built in one go. It offers examples of architecture that spans from the 13th to the 16th centuries. Buried opposite is his half-brother Alexander, who died in 1479, and his tomb is in the wall between the monks' choir and St Catherine's Chapel, and is the oldest of all the graves in BEAULY. This was the beginning of the connection between BEAULY and the Mackenzies, which continues to this day. It's so interesting to walk around the different graves and see their markings and their stories. In 1999 there were massive floods, and the church had problems with their drainage system. But excavations were done, and they had removed over 100 millimetres of turf, topsoil and gravel, and found what we are walking around today: a number of broken, deeply set grave slabs hidden amongst the elements. It would have been such an amazing find back then, and since then it's been left immaculately maintained. and looked after. The site is open daily from 9 to 5 in the summertime, with free entry and excellent access for everyone. The location and the small market town is beautiful to walk around, especially with their flowers in bloom. We ended up grabbing some lovely pastries from the local bakers just a few minutes walk away and sat and enjoyed the views. There is also a local museum which is highly rated and worth visiting, but it was just a nice peaceful stop off whilst we've been driving through Inverness, and it was great to find out about its 800-year-old history. So we really hope you've enjoyed our short visit here today at BEAULY Priory, and would love to encourage you to get visiting these wonderful places. If you've enjoyed it, why not hit that like button and click the bell for more of our video notifications, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We want to say a huge thank you to our Patreons for their support, and a massive thank you to everyone for watching. We've got some really exciting content coming up and can't wait to share with you all. Till next time.